Hi floppy cutters. I suppose it's time to give an update of life after Trigg. Charlie's doing fine. He's a little worn out because we went to the vet and we got some fluids because the same day that I found out all the bad news about Trigg, I also found out that Charlie's kidneys have gotten to the point where he needs fluid support. My vet says about twice a week, which is, early stage type stuff. He is not acting poorly. He's not acting as if he has kidney problems. But I talked to the animal communicator and she said it would help his system right now because of the grief he's going through, just to keep him more satiated, hydrated, that sort of thing. I am very, very experienced with, he's watching an ant. I'm very, very experienced with giving fluids. I gave them to Rags, Camus, Murphy, Trigg. Trigg got them every day, twice a day. Trigg spent a lot of his final days right in this kind of alley. And I literally would put the bag, I've got some henna that's fading. I would put the bag on top of the yew bush there, and then I would poke him, and then I would hold the bag because he spent 5 to 7 hours outside every day, and I didn't want to move him, and I didn't move him. I actually would bring out that litter box that we have that has the handles on it, the one from Genie, and he would get in the litter box, and I would bring him back upstairs, or he'd get in the litter box and I'd bring him downstairs outside when he wanted to go outside. So we spent a lot of time outside. Charlie only spent like a couple of hours every day. I know Charlie doesn't look great right now. He's literally worn out from the vet because unfortunately he had to be poked 3 times today. I'm going to try to do it at home with him. Charlie is a very reactive cat. He always has been. He has, feline hyperesthesia that is in remission, but what that means is he's very, very hypersensitive to touch and feel and all that kind of stuff. He actually scratched me there today. But I'm hoping I'll be able to do it at home because he was better than I thought he'd be for fluids. So I'm going to attempt it. And hopefully I can do it on my own. If I can't, I'll see if my sister can help me. And then if I can't, then I don't know what. I've got 2 products here that I bought on Amazon that might help. And then I might have 2 more coming. And the second one that's coming is it's called a easy IV harness, and you wrap the plastic, or it's like an elastic that you put around their waist, and then you poke them in the back and then they can move. Because right now when he's gotten fluids, I've had to scruff him to keep him stationary. I was like, I need to do a video, but he's being very tired acting. All right, what about Chiggy Woo, Fink? So I talked to the animal communicator this week, and you can talk to your pets, in spirit once they've passed. And what I learned from our visit this week is that, there we go, now Charlie's on the move, is that, so Trigg was oxygen dependent the last, I don't know, a couple hours of his life. And she said that Rags and Camus were in the cage with him, supporting him, which if you know anything about hospice care with humans, oftentimes our ancestors or those that we loved come in spirit and visit us. So I wasn't surprised about any of that, but I was very thankful and grateful. And then Charlie seemed to be okay the first couple of days after he passed. I also had the animal communicator let him know that Trigg was gone, and that was another ant. That's a carpenter ant. But then the third day, Charlie was in severe grief. And so what I found out from all of that was that he is like, that ant hit Charlie, and that's why he reacted like that. That's how hypersensitive he is. So that third day, actually, what happened was Trigg's emotional body wasn't ready to leave us. The reason he said to the animal communicator that he fought so hard was that he didn't want to leave. He enjoyed his life with us, which was difficult, to say the least, to hear, but it was also very nice to hear. This is all catnip, by the way. So that third day, Camus and Rags pulled him to have his emotional body be restored. His physical body had been restored, I think. And this, again, everybody's belief system is different. And so it made a lot of sense to me, like how all of a sudden Charlie got depressed. It was because Trigg's spirit was gone. And it had been gone for several days by the time we talked to the animal communicator, and Charlie was wanting him to come back. And the animal communicator told me that when I received Trigg's ashes, which was that same day actually, that we talked, which was a week after Trigg passed, that Charlie would resume eating normally again, because he wasn't eating very well either, and he has resumed eating again. And personally, I felt like while Trigg's spirit was gone from my house, I felt as if we had never had him, never known him. He wasn't around. And now my grief has started again with, wishing I'd see him curve up against doors and all of that kind of stuff. So I do think that he's back, and I'm grateful for that, for Charlie and for me, even if it's in spirit. Woo, it's not very active today. You want to go? What are you thinking? Stars. Am I talking about Chiggy? I know. Where'd he go? Why he gone? I do want to do a post about navigating the loss of a cat while you still have the other cat. I know Murphy got pretty depressed from Camus being gone, and he was gone within 6 months. I don't know what will happen. Camus and Murphy were very bonded. Charlie and Trigg were not bonded, but like Camus and Murphy would snuggle on the bed together. Charlie and Trigg would sleep on the same bed, but they wouldn't snuggle. Trigg would have liked to have snuggled, but Charlie doesn't. He's not that kind of cat, so he wouldn't allow it. Are you all done? Are you ready to go inside? Yeah, I know. I'm so tired. Are you ready to go night? Okay, baby. So in time, I hope to do a post on that, and so offer any suggestions that you can think of, that if you've been through this, where you've lost a cat that you've had almost 15 years, still have the other cat, how did you help him or her? Charlie, I've been playing with every day. I've been spending extra time with him, talking to him about Chiggy and all that kind of stuff, so that he knows that I know that we're both sad about it. It's hot here today too. Whoa, you're just not gonna go inside? Not yet? There's like so much that's been surprising to me. Charlie will only eat one kind of protein right now, only pork. I can't get him to eat pheasant, duck, chicken. So I'm hoping that will come in time, and maybe the fluids will help that too. Oh, good news was that Charlie's VDI report, which is his vitamin report, that we started doing those last year, July 2023. so Charlie's 14th birthday. We started doing those. He had low magnesium, low vitamin D, and high inflammation. So I was supplementing with magnesium lotion, and I was supplementing with vitamin D, and and then I actually stopped magnesium a few months ago because it was a lotion that you put in his ears, and I think something in the lotion bothered him, and he would like scratch at his ears, and so I stopped doing it. But that was the big positive, that came back with elevated vitamin D, which means I need to stop supplementing that. It came back with perfect magnesium, so that meant me stopping it was a good thing. And then his inflammation was normal, which was really, really cool to see, especially with the kidney markers. So he has elevated creatinine, he has elevated BUN, his phosphorus is fine, and his SDMA was just a little bit over. So we'll see. I'm kind of wondering if Charlie got into something around the same time that this all happened with Trigg, or that the trauma and the grief of that might have caused a reaction in his body to have his levels like that. Because again, I'm not seeing the typical kidney disease stuff, which is sorry, because of fleas. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get it, make sure it was not a flea, it was an ant. I have no idea what I was just saying. Anyway, I probably need to get those levels checked again, because I'm not, oh, that's what I was saying. I'm not seeing vomiting, I'm not seeing, nausea, lack of eating. I was seeing lack of eating, but there's a bigger reason why that was probably happening. So, and now that he's eating full meals again, I'm like, yeah, I don't think that was kidney marker stuff. What else? Is this our life after Chiggy? No, it sucks. I don't want to do it either. I mean, I do, but I don't. Just want my Chiggy back. Really just want my Chiggy back. Wait, I thought that there was something else I wanted to mention. Do you remember what it was? Probably not. No. Oh, that's okay. Thank you guys so much for all of the emails, all the messages, all of the comments. I knew Trigg was loved, but I had no idea how much he was loved and what an impact he had on everyone's lives. Certainly had an impact on mine and Charlie's, and my sister's, and my mom's. It's funny, I always wondered which one of my cats would die first, and now I have that answer. It was an awful 2 weeks, and then the end of his life was really horrible. It was the worst cat euthanasia I've ever been through, and I hope nobody else ever has to deal with that. I mean, Camus and Rags' euthanasia, because they were chronic renal failure cats, it was just, they were weak and tired and didn't want to live anymore. That's very different than what I went through with Trigg. And I think I prefer that, because you have a lot of time to say goodbye, you have a lot of time to make the right decision, and know when it's time to make the right decision. It was very clear to me that it was time to make the decision for Trigg, but it was very traumatic. So I hope other people don't ever have to endure that, because it was awful. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Fleas. Charlie got fleas the day after Trigg died. So normally you want to keep your other cats, smells and hair and everything around, so that the cat that's left, still has their scent, the other cat's scent around. And instead I had to vacuum everything, and I've had to vacuum everything every single day. And so unfortunately that all went to the wayside. Where I think we've got the flea thing under control now. I still have to vacuum every day because of the flea cycle, but they're not on Charlie, and that's number one, because he's the one with flea allergy dermatitis. Trigg didn't have any reaction to fleas ever. They weren't interested in biting him, but they love Charlie. And it's probably because of Trigg spending 5 to 7 hours outside every day, even though I had sprayed my yard and everything. We're never out for 5 to 7 hours a day. And the animal communicator told me that Trigg they'll hitch a ride on Trigg, but they don't like his blood or whatever, but they love Charlie's. So we're still working on that. I think that will be something I might have to endure for the rest of Charlie's life, but at least I know how to get it under control now pretty rapidly. I will provide more updates in the coming months and whatnot. I'm still trying to process all of it. I still can't believe that he's dead. I just can't believe that he's dead. It is surreal, even though I have his ashes. Thank you guys very much for loving my cats and for enjoying them all these years, and I hope this one has many more to go. We'll see you next time.